Lissitzky has always been important for architects, for myself especially. I remember in 1988, Museum of Modern Art had this deconstructivism architecture show. And suddenly a group of architects that was born in the 40s or really looking at work that was done in the 20s, they were really mining the language of the suprematists, the Russian constructivists, and did it in a very different way that I think in many ways maybe continued this type of inclusiveness that the postmodernists did in a way to counter the late modernist work, but at the same time has a kind of richness, but with the language of modernism. So as a student at that time, I was very fascinated with this language. As a matter of fact, I took a trip to, at that time, the Soviet Union for 1 month, from what was Leningrad at that time all the way down to Moscow, hoping to see more of the constructivist work. At that time, we were certainly hardcore modernists, but also looking for alternatives from that type of orthodoxy of late modernism. And in a way, I think Lissitzky's work presented this type of tectonic that follows the modernist lineage, but also has a dynamism, that was very different from the mainstream of modernism, like Mies van der Rohe or Marcel Breuer's work. So when I look at this piece, for me, I'm looking at just the parallel lines of this. This suggests a certain projection of space that could be forward or backwards, or these two parallel lines, that in a way, on one hand, suggests a sort of flatness, but then one piece is in front of another piece, so there's a kind of depth at the same time. I mean, I think this is maybe something that we know that we will never achieve as architects, so having this complete lack of context. And as perhaps this type of floating, this whole painting, or all these objects floating in this space with some suggestions of orientation, allows all these dynamics to happen. And then I think for architects, oftentimes this is a pipe dream that will never happen.